Good morning, students. Today, let us start with the new topic of biology, that is molecular basis of inheritance, or simply called as genetics. So, first, let us know what is meant by genetics. Here you can see all the definitions over here. Genetics means it is a branch of biology that deals with the inheritance and variation. So it is a special branch of biology where we can study about the inheritance of genes and the variation of genes in the organisms when they reproduce. Now we'll know about what is meant by inheritance. It is the process by which characters are passed on from parent to the progeny. So we know that we get the genes from the parents, and that is called as inheritance. The characters are passed by the genes. Variation means it is the degree by which the progeny differs from their parents. So we can see always that we are not exactly the copy of our mother or father. We have some genes from the mother and some genes from the father and some from the grandparents also, and that is called as variation. That is, we vary from some degrees from when compared to our parents, and that is called as variation. Organism reproduce formation to form the offsprings of the same kind. Of course, dog gives rise to a dog only, cat gives rise to cat only, and human gives rise to human only. That is, you are studying here. The resulting offsprings most often do not totally resemble the parent, and hence that is called as variation. We just studied here. Now coming to the father of genetics, Gregor John Mendel. He is called as the father of genetics. He developed the principles of heredity while studying 7 pairs of inherited characters in pea plants. Gregor John Mendel is called as the father of genetics because he studied the entire part of genetics, entire thing about genetics, the variation, inheritance, how they inherit, how they vary, everything only by the pea plant, and it took only 7 pair of contrasting characters that we'll study in the further classes. Although the significance of his work was not recognized during his lifetime, it has become the basis for the present day field of genetics. Of course, our ಕಂಡಿಡಿದಾಗ it was not so importantly thought, but it is now used as the basis, very important part of the genetics now today. Some terminologies which we go on with this chapter. First is genetics. ಆಗಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀವಿ heredity. It is a transmission of characters from parents to the offsprings. Heredity means the characters pass from parents to the offsprings or progeny. Variation is the difference among the offsprings and with their parents. ಆಗಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅದನ್ನು. Hereditary variations, these are genetically and inheritable. The variations which are formed genetically but inherited can be gone to the next generation or doesn't go sometimes. Environmental variation, these are acquired and non-inheritable. Environmental variations are found by in the because of that certain changes in the environment which are non-inheritable, which cannot pass on from generation to generation, like hereditary variations. Mendel's approach. Mendel conducted hybridization experiments, that is artificial pollination and cross pollination experiments, for 7 years, that is 1856 to 1863, and proposed the law of inheritance. He did the hybridization techniques, that is artificial pollination and cross pollination, both. We are going to study this again, this topic only later in detail. For 7 years, he did this experiment from 1856 to 1863, and he proposed the first law of genetics, that is called as law of inheritance. Applied statistical analysis and mathematical logic for the biology problem. He, for the first time, applied the statistical analysis and mathematical logic for the biology, which no one had done earlier. So, it was laws were not followed at an earlier time because it was rejected by few people, because people were not ready to apply the mathematics and stats for the biology. Large sampling size to greater credibility to data. He took large examples of pea plant, different examples, which give a good examples to maintain the data. Experiments were based on true breeding pea lines, continuous self pollination. He first took the true breeding plants only to ensure the continuous self pollination. Next event with the cross pollination. Confirmation of inference from experiments on successive generation of test plants proved general rules of inheritance. He continuously did continuous experiments on the successive generation, F1 generation ಆದಮೇಲೆ F2 generation, F2 ಆದಮೇಲೆ F3 generation, continuous generation ಮೇಲೆ ಅವನು ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತ ಹೋದ, so that he got the laws of inheritance. Mendel investigated two opposite traits, that is tall and dwarf, yellow and green. He took two traits always that we will study now. Some other terminologies are phenotype. The external appearance of an organism is called as phenotype. Phenotype ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಎನಿಮಲ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಹೊರಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ, that is called as phenotype. Genotype means the genetic constitution of an individual, that is the genes which are responsible for the external appearance are called as genotype. Phenotypic ratio, the correct proportion of phenotype in the population is called as phenotypic ratio. ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಹೊರ ಕಾಣ್ತಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಹೇಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನು ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಫಿನೋಟೈಪಿಕ್ ರೇಷಿಯೋ. ಜಿನೋಟೈಪಿಕ್ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಅಂದರೆ ದ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಜಿನೋಟೈಪ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ದ ಜೀನ್ಸ್ ಹೌ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ಡ್, ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಪುಟ್ ಅ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಜಿನೋಟೈಪಿಕ್ ರೇಷಿಯೋ. ಹೋಮೋಝೈಗಸ್, the individual having identical genes in an allelic pair of a character. Example, capital T, small t. Homozygous andre pair of characters, always the genes are taken in pair, that is capital T means homozygous tall, both the alleles are for the tall only. Small t means both the alleles of the genes represent short only athwa dwarf only, that is called as homozygous. Both the allelic pair of characters are similar. Heterozygous, the individual having unidentical genes in an allelic pair of a character. Example, capital T, small t. Here you can see one T is capital and the other T is small, that is called as heterozygous. Two different type of alleles for the same character, that is the character here is the height of the plant, but the alleles are capital T and small t, that is called as heterozygous. Dominant gene, the gene that expresses its character in the heterozygous condition is called as dominant gene. So here you can see capital T when we take, both are dominant, so the next form generation will be tall only. But when we can see this in heterozygous very well, this is capital T and small t, heterozygous condition. So capital T, small t alli capital T always expresses, because this is dominant over the small t, so that is called as the dominant gene. That this gene is carried for the next generation and not this gene. Recessive, the gene that fails to express its character in the heterozygous condition is called as recessive. So here we have taken the example of capital T and small t. Heterozygous condition only we can take this. So here this gene failed to express itself in the next generation, that is called as recessive gene. Hybrid, the progeny obtained by crossing two parents that differ in characters. Hybrid means the next generation which is formed by mixing of two characters. Back cross, the cross between F1 hybrid and one of its parent. This back cross and test cross we'll deal with later. So coming to the 7 pair of contrasting characters selected by Mendel for his experiment. This is a very important question. Okay, because if you know this, you can easily solve the problems of genetics, that is law 1 and law 2 both. So coming to the characters. So he took the 7 pair of characters. First we'll know the characters and then we'll go with the contrasting pairs. The characters were height of the plant. The plant height was the first character, seed shape for the second, Seed color was the third. Seed coat fourth. Pod shape, the shape of the pod for the fifth character. The sixth character was the color of the pod, and the seventh character was flower position. So these were the seven contrasting characters taken by the Mendel for the entire experiment on the genetics. And now we'll go with the pair of contrasting characters, because we need the contrasting characters to study the genetics, how these are traveled from one generation to next generation, because we have two types of genes as I discussed earlier, the dominant gene and the recessive gene, and we have to know which is traveled for the next generation and why. So the dominant for the height was tall and the recessive was short. The dominant for the seed shape was round and the recessive was wrinkled seed. The dominant character for the seed color was yellow and green was recessive. Seed coat color dominant, it was green and the white for the recessive. The pod shape inflated ಅಂದರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಪಾಟ್ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ, that is dominant, and constricted was the recessive, like ಈ ಥರ ಕಾಣಿಸಿದೆ ಅದು recessive gene. Pod color, if it is green it is dominant and if it is yellow is a recessive. ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಯಲ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದರೆ ಸೈಡಿಗೂ ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಸಿಕ್ತು ಅಂದರೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಅಸ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಯಲ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್. ರಿಸೆಸಿವ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಟರ್ಮಿನಲ್, ಪ್ರತಿ ಒಂದು ಗಿಡ ತುದಿಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಸಿಕ್ತು ಅಂದರೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಟರ್ಮಿನಲ್. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದಿ 7 ಪೇರ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ದಿ ಮೆಂಡಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆರಿಮೆಂಟ್. Now we will go with why Mendel selected the pea plant. He selected the pea plant because here few varieties were available. All the varieties which he took, the 7 contrasting characters, were pure. Pea plants are easy to cultivate. It is very easy to cultivate the pea plant. Life cycle of the plant are only for few months, so that results can be got clearly. The life cycle maximum is 3 to 4 months, so we can get the next generation after maximum 5 months, so that the experiments can be carried on very easily. So he took this pea plant. Contrasting traits were observed. Contrasting characters which we discussed in the last slide can be easily seen by the eyes only. Microscope is not necessary. Flowers are bisexual and normally self-pollinated. These are bisexual and they are self-pollinated. Flowers can be cross-pollinated only manually. Cross-pollination ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಅದು ನಾವೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು manually by artificial hybridization techniques. So that we can do this cross-pollination easily and we can get the experimental results also. ಹೈಬ್ರಿಡ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಫರ್ಟೈಲ್. ಹೈಬ್ರಿಡ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಫರ್ಟೈಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಹೈಬ್ರಿಡ್ ವಿಚ್ ವಿ ಗೆಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಅಗೇನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. So Mendel selected the pea plant for these experiments. So in the next class we'll continue with this. If you have any doubts with this till now, you can feel free to call me or message me. Thank you. Good morning students. So this is the second part of the topic genetics or molecular basis of inheritance. So in this class I am going to deal only with the specific concepts you have to know completely clearly before going on to the further part of the genetics, because if you don't know this it's difficult to solve the genetical problems. The first one is allele. So what is meant by allele? So allele means the two factors or genes which occur on the same locus in the two homologous chromosomes of an individual and control the expression of a character. The name factors was given by Mendel and we call it as genes now. So first let us know. So this is a chromosome. These are called as homologous chromosome. One is paternal, one will be maternal. One will be paternal and one will be maternal chromosome. So how are the genes located? These genes are located on the same locus. This is the homologous chromosome. On this homologous chromosome, the genes are located on the same locus. For example, take this is one locus and this is one locus, and these two locus are found on homologous chromosome. One may be paternal, one may be maternal. How? For example, we take the in the pea plant, the Mendel has taken the example of pea plant where it says Stahl and Dorf. Okay, the same way we see here. So these are the characters for the height of the plant. For the character of the height of the plant, here one gene is located and here one gene is located. This may be capital T, this may be small t. So these are the alleles for the character height. Okay, so these are called as height alleles. Next is what is meant by dominant and what is meant by recessive. This is also very important to know before going to further. So Mendel has taken the example of again the height of the plant, which is very simple. So while solving the problems, I will take the other examples also. For the height of the plant, he has given the expression as the gametes as capital T, capital T, capital T, small t, small t, small t. So here what is meant by dominant and what is meant by recessive gene? The gene which expresses itself in the next generation is called as dominant gene. So if the homologous chromosome carry capital T, the dominant gene is capital T, so the plant will be dominant. Okay. If it carries capital T, small t, the genetic combination is capital T and small t. Here capital T is dominant, recessive is small t. Andre capital T expresses itself in the next generation and recessive T cannot express in the next generation because it is recessive. In the heterozygous condition, the dominant recessive combination you can see in the heterozygous condition only. In the heterozygous condition, heterozygous means two type of gametes are present. One is capital and one is small. The one which expresses itself is called as dominant and the one which suppresses itself, which cannot express itself, is called as recessive. So here T is dominant and this expresses. The small t is recessive and it cannot express when there is a dominant gene. So this is dominant recessive relationship. If for example it carries small t, here there is no dominant thing. Okay, so what can express? Only this can express, the small t can express, because if only in heterozygous condition the capital T irodrinda it cannot express, the capital gene is present so it cannot express, but in recessive condition both are small, so small t expresses, and this is called as dominant and recessive. Dominant means pair of alleles which can express itself whether present in homozygous or heterozygous condition. Illi capital T express ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Recessive means it can express only in the homozygous condition. ಅಂದರೆ ಈ condition ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ express ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದು, and it is called as recessive condition. You have to know this some concepts, so I am going to deal this. Next is F1 generation and F2 generation. F1 is called as first filial generation. F2 is second filial generation. First generation, second generation. ಅಂದರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ F1 is the first offspring which we get. It is also called as F1. F1 ಅಂದರೆ simple form. The expression form is first filial generation. F2 means second filial generation. Next is we will go with the phenotype. What is phenotype? Phenotype means the external appearance. So how the plant formed. That's why other organism agili. We are taking the example of a pea plant, so I am giving it. For any organism, how it looks or how it appears from externally is called as phenotype. For example, take a pea plant. We have Mendel has taken the example of pea plant where the plant looks tall from outside. That is what is counted here. If it looks short or dwarf, That is important. So how it looks externally, how are the flowers, what is the color of the flower, and whether they are terminal, whatever is there. So the concepts which we can see from outside the plant just by the naked eye, that is called as phenotype. Genotype. Genotype means the genetic combination of the plant or the any of the organism. Here we are taking the example of again pea plant. If these are the genetic combination with respect to the pea plant, three combinations we can see: capital T, capital T, capital T, and small t, small t. In case of phenotype, if it is capital T, we call it as tall because the plant appears tall only. Even if it is capital T, small t inside, the plant outside appears tall only. So we call it as phenotypically the tall plant because T is dominant, it expresses. If it expresses T and T small, both are present, recessive, and we get the small plant or the dwarf plant. So outside we can see this, but what happens genotype? Genotypically means inside how it is there, how are the genes expressed. That is very important here. So capital T, Rodrinda. The genotype of the plant is capital T, homozygous tall. This is very important. This is capital T and small t, heterozygous tall, and small t, homozygous dwarf. So this is the genotype of the organism or the plant. So thank you. Next part I am going to start the problems and the Mendel's laws. Hello students, welcome to the next part of the genetics, that is part 3, molecular basis of inheritance. So in the last class we just had some basic concept to be known in the genetics. So now we are moving on with the rest of the topic. So we all know that Mendel took 7 pair of contrasting characters for his examination of genetics. So experiments like stem height, flower position, pod color, pod shape, flower color, seed color, and seed shape. So why did he took all these contrasting characters? Only these contrasting characters, because all these contrasting characters are having dominant and recessive trait. For example, you need to study this very well, and I have written the trait how they are used in the genetical formulas experiments. So now first one, seed shape. The seed shape had two types, that is round and wrinkled, and the dominant trait is round and the recessive trait is wrinkled. So dominant is represented by capital R, recessive by small r. Always the dominant trait is represented by the capital letters and the recessive trait is represented by the small letters. Seed color yellow and green. Yellow is dominant over green. Flower color violet over white. Violet is dominant and white is recessive. The pod shape full and constricted. Full is dominant trait and constricted is the recessive trait. Pod color green is dominant over yellow. Flower position axial and terminal, and axial is dominant over the terminal. Stem height tall is dominant over the dwarf one. So you need to study these traits very carefully, because in all the textbooks they have referred to common examples, but in the exam they have asked about the specific one only by giving the name also. So you have to study this capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. You have to study these representations. Okay. So now we'll go with the inheritance of one gene, that is monohybrid cross. Inheritance of one gene is also called as monohybrid cross. What is meant by inheritance? Inheritance means carry over of one gene from one generation to the next generation. First Mendel did this experiment. This is also called as monohybrid cross, means a single parent is involved. Single gene is involved from the parent. Inheritance of one gene can be explained by the monohybrid cross. The cross between two parents differing in one pair of contrasting character is called as monohybrid cross. That is the definition of the monohybrid cross. The cross between two parents differing in one pair of contrasting character. Any one pair out of the 7 pairs he has taken. Okay, that is called as monohybrid cross. He crossed, for example, tall over dwarf plant, capital T and small t. Okay. He collected seeds and grew in first generation, hybrid generation. That is, he got the first filial generation. We will see this experiment. Okay. So, this is a monohybrid cross. The parents he took were homozygous tall and the homozygous dwarf was the parents he selected for his monohybrid cross. The simple example. Okay, the genes involved are capital T and capital T because it is homozygous. So capital T is the representation, and homozygous dwarf, the small t is the representation. The gametes, we take it as capital T over here and small t over here because this is homozygous. Since it is homozygous, we can take only a single gamete. F1 offspring means the first filial generation which he got was having capital T and small t. This became heterozygous tall. This was heterozygous tall. We took homozygous, but it was heterozygous tall. But it was tall only because capital T is dominant over the small t, and capital T expresses itself because it is a dominant character. So next, what he did is, he did selfing. Selfing means the F1 offspring was crossed by F1 offspring again. The same, these were the parents now. That is called as selfing. Gametes were, since these are heterozygous tall, the gametes were capital T and capital T here, and this is capital T and capital T here. So this we can represent by two ways. One is by taking this and this. This is capital T, capital T, capital T, small t, capital T, small t, and small t, small t. Even you can take this like this also. This is very easy for only monohybrid cross, but for a dihybrid cross, obtaining F2 hybrid is offspring is a bit difficult. So we use another method called as Punnett square. So this was found by the scientist called as Punnett. So it is called as Punnett square, where the gametes are represented like this. The first pair of gametes over here, capital T and small t, and the next pair of gametes over here, capital T, small t. When we cross this capital T, we get, and this is capital T, small t, and this again capital T, small t, capital T, small t, and small t, small t. The phenotypic ratio which we get here also it is same, and here this is also same, and this is also same. So, the phenotypic ratio which we get from the monohybrid cross is 3:1. What is 3 representing and what is 1 representing? 3 means 3 are tall. Phenotypic ratio means out external appearance. By seeing these, we can see that 3 plants are tall. So, 3. 1 means 1 is dwarf because it is homozygous dwarf. So, it is 3:1. This is called as phenotypic ratio. Just by seeing the plants, we can find it as 3:1. 3 plants will be tall, 1 plant will be dwarf. The genotypic ratio is 1:2:1. How? 1 is capital T is only 1 we got here. Capital T, small t are 2 in numbers, this one and this one. And small t is only 1. So the genotypic ratio means expression of the genes in the F2 generation was in the ratio 1:2:1. So this is called as monohybrid cross according to the Mendel. So now we will go with the representation by notes. F1 plants were all tall and none were dwarf. In the F1 plants, all the plants were tall and none were dwarf. For other traits also, F1 generation resembled only one parent and the other trait of other parent were not shown in the other examples also. He self-pointed F1 generation, so F2 generation he got. It is self-pollination means selfing. In the F2 generation, 1/4 were dwarf and 3/4 were tall. That is phenotypic ratio. Mendel proposed something is stable being passed to the next generation through gametes, that is called as factors. Mendel called them as factors earlier, and that is what we call as genes now. That is, he said that something passes on from one generation to the next generation. For that which pass on is called as factors by Mendel, and we call it as genes. Genes or factors are the unit of inheritance. They contain the information required to express particular trait. That is, genes are the unit of inheritance. They have the characters which pass on from generation to generation. Genes which code for a pair of contrasting traits are called as alleles. I have discussed it earlier only. Alphabetical symbols were used, that is capital T for tall, small t for dwarf. I mentioned this also in the last slide. Mendel proposed true breeding tall or dwarf plant, identical or homozygous allele pair of TT or TT genotype. That is homozygous space. Mendel found phenotype of heterozygous TT of F1 was same as parent with TT and proposed in a pair of dissimilar factors. One dominates the other and is dominant and recessive. So you saw that in F1 hybrid, in F1 it was hybrid, capital T and small t, F1 generation. But here capital T was dominant and recessive, small t was recessive. So the expressed one was capital T. That is what he said. The dominant expresses over the recessive. This is the same representation over here in colors. Okay. So this is the diagrammatic representation of monohybrid cross. Here you can see only the phenotypic ratio. Okay, parent was tall and dwarf, and F1 generation was tall and tall, and selfing, after selfing F2 generation was 3 was tall and 1 was dwarf. So 3:1 we got the phenotypic ratio. So we can see it here clearly. Thank you, and in the next class I am going to deal with the hello students. In the last class we was talking about the monohybrid cross with respect to an example of the height of the plant. So in this session I just wanted to take another example for the monohybrid cross so that you will know what is the difference between that and this. That's it. So now I am taking the example of the seed shape of the pea plant. Seed shape. Okay. So in this seed shape of the pea plant, there were again two contrasting traits, that is the dominant trait and the recessive trait. The dominant trait was round and the recessive trait was wrinkled. So for the dominant trait, they have represented it as capital R because it is dominant, and for the recessive trait it has been represented by small r. So we are going to take these two as an example for another monohybrid cross. Okay. So the parents were round and wrinkled. These were the parents. Okay. The parents are round and wrinkled. The gametes are again capital R, small r. So now these we undergo cross to form the F1 generation. These are the gametes and this is the F1 generation. When we cross these two parents, we get R, capital R and small r. But the expression of the dominant trait takes place in the F1 generation. Since the dominant character is present, recessive suppresses itself. So the plant which are found in the F1 generation are round seeded plant, the plants with the round seed, but this is a heterozygous condition. Okay, so now we'll go with the F2. This is F1. Now we'll go with the F2. To found the F2, what we do is selfing. We call it as selfing. Selfing of F1. So in F1 we had got capital R, small r, heterozygous plant with the round seed. So this selfing means capital R small r is crossed with capital R small r. This is called as selfing. Okay, the same plant is again crossed. So since this is a heterozygous condition, we take the gametes R as capital R small r this side and crossed with capital R small r. So now I am going to explain the two concepts also, like simple concept and the other one with the Punnett square. So now we have to get the F2 ratio. How we will get? One method is like this: capital R, capital R, capital R, small r, capital R, small r, small r, small r. This is one method where phenotypically, that is external appearance, when we see the plant, we can see that this and this plant appears round in color. The seed appears round in shape, and this is recessive, so it appears wrinkled seeded. So another method is called as Punnett square. Capital R, small r, capital R, small r. So this is the method of doing the Punnett square. So for monohybrid cross, Punnett square is not so important, but this is important for the dihybrid cross because it is difficult to do the last method in the dihybrid cross. So just we will learn the method. So you have to make like this. You have to write the gametes, whatever gametes are available, you have to write here. The gametes for capital R, small r on one side, and on the other side capital R, small r. So we cross these two, capital R, and again now this with this, capital R, small r. Now this with this. So when we do this to capital R, you have to write first because it is a dominant trait, and recessive later. And this with this, if you do, it will be small r, small r. So the phenotypic ratio will be 3:1 because three plants, this and this, appears tall when we see external appearance. So phenotypic ratio means external appearance ratio. So 3 appears tall, so 3:1. 1 is dwarf. This one appears dwarf because both are recessive. So this is called as phenotypic ratio. Coming to the genotypic ratio. So now in this, I will write in the genotypic ratio, you have to see the expression of the genes. So here capital R, how many are there? Only one. When in these four, capital R is only one, that is homozygous plant with round seeds are only one. So 1:2. And this now we have to see capital R, small r, capital R, small r. This heterozygous plant with round seeds, that is 2 are there. Capital R, small r, capital R, small r are there. So now another one is recessive. Only one is there. So that is wrinkled seeded plant. So this is the genotypic ratio 1:2:1. Okay, thank you. So this is the example for monohybrid. Another example. So like this wise, you can take any examples as mentioned in the last class, so that they can ask any examples in the examination.
Respiration.
Plants take carbon dioxide from the air. Water is absorbed from the soil. Leaves capture the energy of sunlight using chlorophyll molecules. The leaves make glucose and release oxygen to the air. This process is called photosynthesis. Animals get this glucose through their food. When they respire, glucose combines with oxygen, releasing carbon dioxide and water. Respiration gives them energy.